I decided that in the year 2025, I was going to make some changes. So let's get into it.
Powerful. Few things are as powerful. Few things are as powerful as
What is going on, beautiful people? You are listening to the Affirmations for Black Girls podcast, where we focus on personal growth and cultivating a healthy relationship with ourselves. I am your host, Tyra, the creative actress, content creator, and mental health enthusiast. And as you guys can see, well, some of you guys, this is a video episode. So if you did want to tune into the video, go ahead over to our YouTube channel, click the link, and give it a watch. But if you're driving or if you're on your way to work or whatever the case may be, continue listening to the audio. It will still be a great experience. But hello, everyone. I'm so glad that you are here today. This first episode for the new year. By the way, Happy New Year. Happy 2025. I hope you guys listened to our season 4 trailer, which is the monologue, which tells us about the intention set for the year for the podcast, just so you know a little bit about what's going on in my day to day life. I hope you guys listened to that. If you didn't, it's a quick listen. Go ahead and listen to it so you can really get the full season 4 experience, especially with this first episode being about my 2025 ins and outs. Okay. But with that being said, before we jump into my ins and outs, because that's been trending and everybody has been doing it. And if you're like, Tyra, what is an in and what is an out? It's okay. We're going to get into it. But before we do that, let's go ahead and jump into our affirmation of the week. This week's affirmation is directly attached to our intention for the year, and I thought it was perfect for the first episode of 2025. But this week's affirmation is I am a big deal. Ooh, even just saying that for that split second made me feel a little uncomfortable, so that means I definitely need to dive in. I am a big deal. Mm. I am a big deal. I am a big deal. I am a big deal. Just think about how it feels to say that you're a big deal. Really take notice of what's happening in this moment. I am a big deal. I am a big deal. What does it look like for you to be a big deal? What does it feel like? Let's say it one last time together and truly, truly mean it. I am a big deal. Ooh, Lord, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. That affirmation is a little uncomfortable because a little bit of me is like, ooh, a big deal, girl. We just people. Like, you're not better than nobody. But the whole purpose of this year's intention is, if you listened or if you didn't listen, I'll give you a little synopsis. Last year we talked about um cultivating boldness in our life, going for what is ours. But in throughout the year, when I was reflecting on the things that I was doing, I was moving boldly. I really was, but I realized a key piece was missing. I was asking for the things that I wanted, and I was putting people in place in my life, whether that's through my career, relationships, whatever. I was putting people in places where I wanted things to happen, but then that was it. I just left it at that. And this year's intention is to take charge and embody big deal energy. And the reason I say that is because, and I talked about this a little in our trailer, but I'll take my acting career for example. I got new representation because I was like, my old representation wasn't doing what they needed to do, and I need to move boldly. So I went ahead and got rid of them, even though I was a little uncomfortable with it, and put new people in place. And then that was it. Last year, I only got three total auditions. And outside of doing voiceover work, I don't even count my voiceover auditions because voiceover auditions, you get like 100 a week. That's totally different. But for like theatrical things, for movies, TV shows, three for the whole year. And I didn't say anything to my representation. I did not take charge. I did not say, hey, this is not working. What do we need to do? I wasn't proactive in that way. So, through moving boldly, I need to take it up a notch and make sure that I am taking charge of it as well. So join me in this intention for the year. If you identify with that, go ahead. But now let's go ahead and get into the ins and outs. Okay, so if you don't know what ins and outs are, they're basically things that you're going to do or not do in the new year, right? So, ooh, it's getting a little dark up in here. See, this is the only thing about recording video, y'all. I gotta get my little setups together. Anywho, so ins and outs are things that you're going to bring into 2025 or the new year, or things that you're going to leave out of the new year, right? So it's kind of just like resolutions, but subject matter wise. Okay, let's go ahead and jump in. So the first in for 2025 for me, and by all means, join me in this. If you have some ins that you want to incorporate, you can use some up on my list. Go ahead and make your list as well. The first one for me is being bold. As you guys know, in 2024, our intention was also to be bold, but I also want to do that in 2025. I want to go for what I want. I don't want to leave things on the table. I think in 2024, even though I was moving boldly into things that I chose to do, I was still leaving a lot on the table. And I don't want to do that in the new year. My next in for 2025 is having a plan. Y'all, I'm not gonna lie, I was flying by the seat of my pants last year. And I wasn't doing it in a bad way, but in 2025, I want to be a little more intentional with the projects that I take on, the things that I say yes to, and my day to day routine. A lot of the time, I was just doing whatever. I wasn't really thinking intentionally about what I was spending my day doing. And in 2025, this is a priority for me. So, with that being said, um, I don't necessarily, need it to be career based for me having a plan. But one thing that is helping me this year, and I suggest that you guys jump on it too, is definitely my New Year Define Me workbook. You guys, y'all know I've been talking about this workbook for a while now. This is what it looks like. It don't come in a binder like this. I just put mine into a binder, but it is so cute. And if you have not downloaded it already, it is on our website. I will link that down below in the show notes. But there are tons of fun sections that you guys can do. And the great thing about it is you don't have to do it in one sitting. You can literally do this over the course of the entire year, right? And I think it's very important. I spent a lot of time putting this together and being intentional about it. And I would love, love, love if you guys would join me in it. I learned a long time ago that it is in my best interest to invest in myself. Y'all, this New Year Define Me workbook is only $25 and it's on my website right now. And also, if you're listening to this episode, I'm going to give you a discount because you're listening to the episode at the top of the year. So, for the next 48 hours, you can use the code SALE10 for 10% off of the newsletter. Of the newsletter, of the workbook. It is in full color and it also comes with supplemental videos on the YouTube channel. So over there, you have a little bit of a community of people who are also doing the workbook. I'm also doing the workbook myself. So we're all doing it. And there's some exercises in there that are very fun. A vision board exercise. And I also did a very fun wins exercise that I'm so excited to see what everybody else comes up with for theirs. But anywho, having a plan is important, and the New Year Define Me workbook will help you move into this year with boldness, with clarity, and with confidence. So go ahead and get it. The link is down below in the show notes. Or you can go directly to tyrthecreative.com and go into our merch shop, and it'll be right there as a digital download for you. Now, my third N is being an active participant in my own life. Now, I kind of already touched on this, but I spent a lot of time in the passenger seat of my life, just letting things happen, things falling into my lap, and all of those things. And I was talking to my friend Anastasia one time. This had to be over a year ago now. And she mentioned being a bystander in her own life. And I was like, you know what? I identify with that so freaking much. It is time to be an active participant. And last year, especially with my acting career, and I'm not saying that you have to do every little thing all the time, right? But last year in my acting career, it definitely took a back seat and I was not active. I was very passive in it. I was like, well, if auditions come to me, they come to me. I didn't really put much thought and intention behind it. And that is okay. Sometimes when you're in a season of your life, you may need to do that for certain things. You can't give everything 100% all the time, especially if you have a lot of different avenues that you are going down. You have a lot of passions, you have a lot of different things going on, right? There's a time and place for everything. And this year for me, my acting career needs to take a front row seat. My next N is hobbies and learning apps. Y'all already know I'm the hobby girl, okay? I'm always doing some type of hobby, whether it is boxing or pottery. I started doing archery, as you guys know. I build Legos. I like to bake. I like to garden. All of these things are hobbies. And I was just talking to my mama before I came back to LA. And I was just saying, like, you need hobbies. And I asked her what are some of her hobbies. And one thing that she said was, well, I like to get out and shop. That is not a hobby. Well, it can be a hobby, like thrifting and things like that. It can be a hobby, but it should not be your only hobby. Hobbies are for enrichment. And that's what I was just explaining to her. Hobbies should fill your cup up. They shouldn't, necessarily empty out your pockets. They need to be something that brings you joy. And for me personally, bring back that childlike joy. That's why I do things with my hands like arts and crafts and gardening and pottery and all of those things. But the biggest thing about having hobbies is that they need to enrich you in some way. And that looks different for all of us. But I think a healthy amount of hobbies, for me at least, is like three hobbies that I'm doing a lot of the time. Something that I'm doing like once a week or at least once a month or something like that. Three is like my max. When it's more than that, it's like okay, I do these every now and then, which is also still fine. But I want I one of the things that I strived for last year was having at least one ongoing hobby that I did on a weekly basis, and that was pottery and boxing for me. Other than that, I said I said learning apps. And one of the learning apps that I absolutely love is language learning apps. So y'all know that I'm a stan for Duolingo, but there's also Babbel and Rosetta Stone that are also pretty good. Y'all know Rosetta Stone been around for a long time, okay? So choosing a new language to learn has just been so exhilarating. I actually went out to eat with a friend last month before I went home for the holidays, and I heard some men speaking in Italian, and I could piece together what they was talking about because your girl is learning Italian, y'all. I was so freaking excited, and it's just something to do to keep enriching my life. I think that's one of my key words for this season of life, not just 2025, but this season of life is enrichment. I want my life to be rich, not just in my career, not just in my like physical health, but rich in all the ways because there's so many things out there that we can experience. And for me, learning a new language when I don't have to take a test on it, I'm not in college, is so rewarding. There's also other apps that I have been diving into a little bit. I also like the Elevate app. It's a brain games app because, fun fact, I almost was a math major in college, y'all. But I love the Elevate app because it's a lot of brain games, especially dealing with math. There's also like some reading comprehension things there, but I love it because it keeps me on my toes. It keeps my brain dexterity up. So you can try that app out as well. There's also Skillshare, which I use to learn different things. Like if I wanted to learn how to use Procreate to draw animations, there's also like writing classes on there. I've taken a poetry class on there, which was so dope. there's financial classes. There's a lot of stuff on Skillshare that you can just do like for fun or just to learn certain things. Like if you care to learn about something, it's course like. So it's like you're going to like a university class or something. There's like different activities to do on a week to week basis, and you can do it in that educational way, if that makes sense. And you learn something without having to go to a university and spend money on tuition because these this day and age, y'all, it is very expensive. And one app that I just started using is, and this is in no way sponsored, y'all, but one app that I just started using, literally I'm only on day 2 of it, but I've seen a lot of Instagram ads for it, is the Ahead app. Now, this is a self-awareness app. And it's like a pocket coach that provides bite sized, science driven tools to boost your emotional intelligence. And I've been loving it so far. All I've done so far is like the personality quiz to figure out what areas I need to focus on, but I love it. It's giving Duolingo, but for emotional intelligence. So if you're interested in upping your emotional intelligence in a fun way through little tasks and quizzes, then try out the Head app. I put my link down below. It's not an affiliate link or anything, but it's just a link to the app. You can take the quiz, blah, 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 all of that type of stuff. Anywho, let's go ahead and move on because one thing I notice is when I talk about things like this, I can be very long winded. So let me try to go ahead and speed through these next ones a little bit. So the next thing on my ends list for 2025 is press-ons. Now, press-ons have been an end for me for since last year, but I know I've mentioned this somewhere on the internet before, but being a pastry chef and making all of these pastries all the time, I can't make up in my mind. I can't, what am I trying to say? I cannot justify spending so much money on nails at the nail salon because it's getting more expensive. At one time in 2022, I was going to the nail shop consistently every 2 weeks or whatever, and I really, really enjoyed it. However, when the nails would break or fall off or whatever, I wouldn't be able to film and all of the things, right? It was very inconvenient. And the girl that I was going to, it was hard to get an appointment. I had to make my next appointment when I was there, and I had to keep that appointment, couldn't change it, or I wouldn't be able to be seen for another couple of weeks. I don't like that. So I started using press-ons. I went on Amazon. I got some BT Art Box press-ons. Y'all, they are so cute and so good, and I get compliments on them. I normally do like a just a plain French tip, and they look so real. They look salon quality. I did link the ones that I get down below. I've tried like a couple of different colors and all of that, but the BTR box nails, the girlies on TikTok put me on to that, and I've been using them ever since. And all I do is take some nail glue and I put it on. Now they say to put like a top coat and all that. I don't be having time for all that because I don't do my nails myself. But the press on game, it saves so much money. Like the one that I buy is probably like 40 something dollars, but it comes with like 5 or 6 sets in there. If you go to the nail salon, you are spending like $100 on a gel set if you want to get like not your real nail. And when I would get my real nail, like gel polish or anything, first of all, they would file my nails down so much. I would be pissed, y'all, because I would tell them, don't do that. Hey, my nails are already thin, and they act like they can't understand what you're saying. I don't have time for that. In 2025, I'm spending my money on things that I want to spend my money on, things that services that I will be excited about, that I know I got my money's worth, and I know that I am still safe and I'm not getting hurt by using them. Um, and besides the BTR box nails, I've also been getting my nails from Etsy, y'all. Etsy is the place. It is the spot. So if you are looking to do like press-ons and whatnot, you can go to Etsy as well. I get a lot of fun ones from there too. My Christmas nails were from Etsy. They were a red French tip, like they were almond shaped, red French tip, and two of the nails had candy canes and gingerbread men on them, and they were so cute, and they're handmade. I think the girl lives in Canada that did mine, but there's so many sellers on there. Literally, even if you just thinking about it, go check it out because the nails be so cute. And and I paid like 30 something dollars for that set. That set would have been over $100 in a regular nail salon because the gingerbread and the candy canes were hand drawn. If you take into consideration the fact that you get gel, they were like a medium length, so they would have to do a nail extension. Baby, press-ons, press-ons, press-ons. The next thing is the mall. I miss shopping in the mall. The mall is an end for me because I have realized that even though I am a little conscious about overconsumption, the internet and Amazon, because I just mentioned Amazon, makes it so easy to overconsume. It makes it so easy to get your hands on everything. In 2025, I want to start going to the mall. And if I can't find it at the mall, maybe I don't need it. Okay, I'm gonna just leave that there. My next end is dinner parties. So, fun fact, I'm having my first dinner party of the year this month, and it's for the launch of drumroll please. Y'all the first ones to know about this. Okay, this is an exclusive. My launch for Tyra's Table is going to be this month, and I could not be more excited. And I'm doing it in the form of a dinner party. I'm inviting over some friends, and I'm gonna cook some food, and we're just gonna have a time. I wanted to do dinner parties because I want to spend more quality time with friends. I don't necessarily want to spend so much money. I don't always want to have to go to a restaurant. There are so many other ways to fellowship with friends, and I think over the past few years we have defaulted to restaurants. By we I mean me. For one, because I live in LA. Two, everybody lives in different places. And three, I never really had the space, but I'm gonna make my space good enough to invite friends over for dinner parties. And I love to host. My next in is scheduled text messages. Y'all, this is a new feature on the iPhone. You can schedule text messages. You can schedule text messages. I repeat, you can schedule them. That is going to be a complete game changer for me because I always forget to send like happy birthday texts. And if I'm like, hey, I'm gonna text you later tonight, I can go ahead and schedule that so we can be good to go. Next is utilizing multiple calendars. Y'all, I have always had multiple calendars, but I want to make it a little more specific this year. So I used to have like a work and a personal calendar, but now I have a work calendar, I have lifestyle, I have one for Delta. As you guys know, I just joined a new chapter. I'm reactivated. So, a Delta calendar that is separate. I also have one for events, one for reminders, one for bills. And they're all color coded because I want to see how much of my day is being taken up by different categories in my life. And this has already been a complete game changer. And one of the best things is so I use iCal and I also use a physical calendar. But for the iCal, my mom is able to view my lifestyle calendar for like when I have flights that I'm coming home. It automatically pops up on her calendar. So I love that you can share your calendars and it's easy to sync. For like work stuff, like my content creation, I use different productivity apps and I'm able to sync my productivity app with my iCal or my Google Calendar, whatever, so I can make sure that I am on top of everything. And I absolutely love that. But on top of that, I also use a physical calendar and it's just been a game changer. It helps me slow down, it helps me remember stuff better, all of the things. Calendars, multiple calendars are definitely in. My next in is rewards points for eateries, other businesses. Here's the thing. Just about every restaurant or every bigger restaurant has a rewards program. Y'all, if you do not have the rewards, you are leaving money on the table. And the rewards typically don't expire for at least a year. I'm pretty sure you're going to eat at that place more than once a year. And you can be leaving like free meals or like birthday gifts and stuff on the table. Rewards points. I use them, but sometimes if it takes an extra step versus me saying when I'm there eating, hey, yeah, sign me up, I don't do it. But now I am because I wasn't doing my Firehouse subs, and I go to Firehouse subs literally at least 3, 4 times a month. Like it's crazy. You can get free sandwiches. What? Free sandwiches? Sign me up. Now, on the same vein of like restaurants and stuff, another big in for me is writing good reviews for establishments. I only really see bad ones. Like when I'm looking up a restaurant and I'm looking like, oh, I've never been here before, I want to see what it's about. I see a lot of bad reviews. And that in turn will cause the restaurant to have like a 2-star, 3-star rating. But I really, really think it's because people are more likely to leave a bad review than a good review. I read that somewhere. And I want to be in the number that leaves good reviews because I go to a lot of places that I'm like, oh my God, this was so good, or the service was so good, the waiter was nice, whatever. And I never feel the urge to leave that review. But in 2025, I'm changing that up. And when I do leave reviews on Google Maps, they show you how many people have viewed. Y'all, I have over 3 million views on my reviews, and I don't know, it just does something for my ego. So I want to continue leaving both. I want to leave truthful reviews, but I want to make sure that I'm leaving good reviews at the places where I feel like, okay, this is a great place. But I'll still leave, and that's the thing, I don't like seeing bad reviews, but I'm going to leave reviews regardless, but I want to make sure that I am intentionally leaving good reviews if I had a good experience at that restaurant or that establishment of whatever sort. And my last in for 2025. I've been thinking about this for a long time and I just haven't done it, but I want to do a family newsletter. So a in for 2025 is a family newsletter. I don't know what that's going to look like, but I want to talk with my mom and my grandma about incorporating that. And it's because through doing like, so you guys know my great grandma passed away in 2023, and I was doing ancestry and all of that, and I had the idea way back then, but I'm like, I don't have the time to do it myself. But I would love to do a family newsletter because we're all over the place now. And as I told you guys, my brother just got engaged. I just found out that one of my cousins is about to have his first child. Like, and we don't talk as much in our group messages. And for me, I was like, dang, I want to know what's going on in y'all's lives. So I think having a family newsletter would be great. I know it'll be a lot of hard work. I definitely know it'll be a lot of hard work, but I think it would be rewarding to get the family newsletter in your inbox once a quarter or once a month, whatever. It depends on like your family, but I want to see if I can get a team together, a team of historians who wants to be a family historian with me, a team of historians in my family so we can divvy up the responsibility, but have something that we can look forward to because there's always something happening. And I just think it would be great. I think it would be great. Let me know if y'all think it would be great too. Now we have to get into the outs of 2025. What are we leaving in 2024? What are we not indulging in? The first biggest thing for me is productivity guilt. I want to release the guilt that is attached to not accomplishing everything that I put on my to do list in a day. And I think a big thing that I struggle with is keeping my to do list to an attainable amount of things. Three things on your to do list is more than enough for a day because you should leave time to do other things with your day, whether that is running errands, resting, doing an enriching activity. It should not just be it should not just be things that you need to check off of a list, right? And sometimes my to-do list is like 20 things deep for a day, and when I don't accomplish it, I beat myself up a little bit subconsciously, and I really want to get rid of that. The next out for me, and this is I don't know, y'all. It hasn't ever really been like a big part of my life, but my next out is drinking every weekend. And I've never been in a space in my life where I have like went out drinking every weekend. And if I do have a drink, it's mainly at a restaurant with my meal, whatever, because I love trying new flavors. And if something looks interesting on the menu, I will grab it. And the thing is, a lot of times I won't even finish a cocktail that I have. I just wanted to taste it, right? But especially living in LA, it's a little too expensive out here to be calling myself tasting cocktails and leaving the rest on the table, okay? Wasting that good money. But at the end of last year, I started seeing a lot of studies and things coming out about the link between alcohol consumption and cancer. And one thing that stood out to me is that even if you're having less than one drink a day, drinking sometimes can also increase your risk of at least seven different types of cancers. I went and looked at the US Surgeon General's advisory, and it says alcohol consumption is the third leading preventable cause of cancer in the United States after tobacco and obesity. And like I said, less than one drink a day can put you increase your risk of at least 7 different type of cancers. That is mouth cancer, throat cancer, voice box or larynx cancer, esophageal cancer, breast cancer, liver cancer, and colon or rectal cancer. And I'm just like, dang, I don't even like drinking like that. So why am I doing it? Why would I put myself in a position where I can possibly potentially get an ailment when it's not even something that I too much care about? Like you guys know I did a lot of cocktail content on my Instagram and stuff. That's just because I like making pretty drinks. Here's the thing, you don't have to have alcohol in it. I like making pretty drinks. So this year, the out for me is drinking, and it just seems like I drink a lot, but I don't. Well, what I'm saying is like talking about this for me, I don't want to give off the idea that I drink a lot because I really don't. I probably have like 1 to 3 drinks a week, but I think even that's a little too much for me at this point in time in my life. When I turned 29, I even thought, okay, when I turn 30, I'm gonna stop drinking for good. Now, I don't necessarily know if I need to be that extreme because when I put extreme limitations on myself in that way, especially when it comes to food and drink, I don't have the healthiest relationship with it. So I'll just opt out of drinking more often than not. But if I'm like celebrating something and I want a glass of champagne, I'll probably have it. The next out for me is diet. I haven't done a diet in a long time, but I wanted to throw this on here because there's so many different things going around. One of them being the 75 hard. Now, I know it isn't a diet specifically, but diets are associated with it. And it's not really, it's something that I was like, dang, do I need to do this? I think it'll be good for me. But it's just so extreme. I would prefer lifestyle changes because diets have never worked for me. I've always done fad diets, crash diets, and they worked for 2 seconds, but then I blew back up like a blimp. So I'm leaving that in 2024. The next out for me, as you guys, we already talked about nails. The out is nail salon. I'm tired of giving them so much money and not even liking my nails whenever I leave. And I'm gonna leave it at that. My next out is online shopping. Like I said, for our ends, I want to go to the mall. Let's go to the store. I do too much online shopping. And the other part about online shopping is if something doesn't work, 9 times out of 10 or 8 times out of 10, I'm not going to return it. I'm probably take it to Goodwill because sometimes when you return stuff, it can take so much more time to actually return it. And I'm just like, it's not worth it. Let me take it to Goodwill. So I don't want to really engage in things like that anymore. The next one is eating out for every celebration. Let's have other celebrations. I want to have more alt bashes, which mean like alternate celebrations, right? So if I graduate from college, I don't want to go out to eat. Let's do something else. Let's actually have a themed event, party, whatever. Even if it's just like bowling or something. I don't want to go eat all the time. We eat literally 3 times a day. Let's do something else, right? Don't get me wrong. I love a good like dinner at a restaurant, but I don't want to do that for every celebration. I don't want that to be the default. I want to be a little more creative in the celebrations that I have and the time that I am spending with my family, friends, or anyone who I am celebrating. And a big one for me. And I didn't want to, do this as a whole for my out, but I don't like birthday dinners at all. I despise birthday dinners, y'all. First of all, we go sit at a table and we eat. You have a mixed group of friends and we just eating and then we go home. We not even really like celebrating you. We just sharing a meal together, which, break bread, whatever, fellowship, whatever. But I'm just over it. At this big age of 30, I don't want to do birthday dinners. Let's do something else. Have a little party at your house, have a little party somewhere else. I'll come show up, give you a gift, all of that. But I don't want to go to a birthday dinner. I don't want to do dinners for every celebration as a whole. My next out is beige or boring trends. Y'all know when everybody had beige homes or like they did like the boucle couches or everything was tan. Get rid of it. I just put this on my TikTok that I am leaning all the way into my eccentricness. Y'all know I love food. I'm a pastry chef, all of this. I have all types of food based things, and I'm just leaning into my eclectic style because it makes me who I am. And I'm leaning into it not just so for me, but even the things that I gift other people. I want it to be something that they like, but you know that it came from Tyra. That is the person that I am striving to be. For example, for Christmas, my brother just got a new house. And for Christmas, I saw this pillow that I knew he would like because he loves anime, he loves Asian food. And for his man cave, he has a big ramen sign in there, like, the ramen soup. And I was like, oh, this will be perfect. I found a pillow that was in the shape of a piece of sushi. He loves sushi as well to go into his game room. That is not something that he would ever buy. And it's also not something that people in his immediate circle would have bought for him either because it was in the store World Market. And not many people that I know shop at World Market that are like, his friends. Not a lot of guys. I don't know any guys that shop at World Market, but that's what I mean. I wanted to mean something to them, but also you're like, oh yeah, Tyra definitely got me this. Like this is definitely something Tyra would get. That's what I strive for. So some of the things that I've been buying lately are like I bought some loaf slippers, y'all. They look like a piece of bread. They're so cute. I bought some burger flip-flops, which are so cute. I have a lot of fun foodie earrings. I have a lot of Coach bags, and a lot of them are made to look like fruit. They are so cute. And what else do I have? Yeah, I home decor. When I bought him that pillow, I also got myself a croissant pillow. Like that's what I'm here for. I'm here to lean all the way into my eclectic style. I'm embracing my eclecticness. Now, the next thing on my list is bringing store-bought sides to the function. I say this time and time again, I'm a foodie. Do not come to my function with a store bought side if we said bring something homemade. Now, if we told you to bring a little chip, that's fine. Sometimes we need a little chip. But if the purpose is for you to bring something homemade and you bring something that is from the store, no. Leave that in 2024. And I know not everybody can cook, y'all, but for me, leave it at the store. I'm not gonna bring a homemade. I'm not gonna bring a store bought food item to your get together if you wanted something homemade. I'm not even gonna do it if you just said bring anything. I'm gonna bring something homemade. I think we should get back to like when my mama and grandma and then when they were younger, like you brought a casserole to your next door neighbor when they moved in. That is the energy that I want to embody in 2025. My next out for 2025 is procrastination. Y'all, I am such a procrastinator and I'm going to read this verbatim, but I was reading a little bit of this article from IE University, and the name of the article is Procrastination Psychology: Understanding Effects, Causes, and Solutions of Procrastination. And it said, contrary to popular belief, procrastination is not caused by poor time management or a fear of failure. Rather, studies show that procrastination is due to self regulation failure and a poor ability to manage emotions. Procrastinators recognize the harmful effects of putting tasks off but can't overcome the emotional urge of a diversion. This is why I'm using that Ahead app that I was telling y'all about. So I can work on my emotional intelligence and really see what I need to do to get to overcome procrastination. Now, I kept reading a little bit and it said a little bit about how to overcome procrastination. You can identify your daily goals in order to stop delaying important tasks. You have to identify those tasks in the first place and then work towards them. You can set specific goals and make sure that those specific goals are realistic goals, and also change your internal dialogue. Talk to yourself nicely. Include easy tasks on your to do list. The act of scratching something out on your to do list because it has been, you have accomplished it, is amazing. It feels amazing for me, at least. So, including those smaller tasks or those easy to accomplish tasks do work wonders for me. Find your productive flow. Include accountability in some way. I know I like to body double with my friends a lot. I've talked about this on the podcast before. I might call my friend Bria or I might call JC and we might just clean our house. together. We're just on the phone in our separate spaces, but we're cleaning. If you don't have a friend that you would like to call, there's tons of like vlogs on YouTube that can help you body double anything. There's things for studying, if you need to cook dinner, if you want to clean, all of those things. There's videos on there for you where other people are doing the same thing. And the last one is factor in room for faults. We're not always going to accomplish everything. Factor that in whenever you are trying to overcome procrastination. So that's something that I'm really, 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 really serious about working on. Procrastination is out in 2025 because I'm taking charge and I got things to do. I am moving boldly and taking charge because I am a big deal and I got things to do. Okay, now these last two go hand in hand, so I'll just say them both. My last two outs for 2025 are group chats for daily talking, Lord Jesus, and excessive screen time. They go hand in hand because sometimes if you're having a conversation in a group chat, a group text, an hour could go by and y'all still talking, and I have to literally just mute the chat and go away. And then on the flip side of that, when I don't want to be in the message, I'm constantly getting these pings, so I need to mute the group chat. But if I sometimes if I just put my phone on do not disturb, I'm missing other notifications that I need. It's just a lot. It's just a whole thing. And I have like 300 unread text messages because I've started muting group chats. Please leave me out the group chat. Message me separately or don't message me at all. That is what I want to say for 2025. Don't message me at all. And excessive screen time. Y'all, enough is enough. I got to get off my phone. I have to. There are a lot of apps that you can use to help you with your screen time, but I think having a plan, having a routine, and having hobbies and enriching things in place will subconsciously tell my body I don't need to be on my phone. So all of these things really work hand in hand, and I really 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 want to be off my phone in 2025. That is such a huge goal for me and I think I can do it.
Hey, you're on my mind, you know.
All in all, 2025 is my year to take charge, and doing these ins and outs were very fun. But for me, it's really about the intention behind it all. Like I said, I want to be in my phone less. I need to take charge and do that. I can't passively do that. I want to spend less time online shopping. I need to take charge. I cannot passively do that. There's in this day and age that we live in, it's so easy to do the digital thing. We have been accustomed now to making it hard to actually be present in the moment. And that's something that's very important to me. I always see people talking online about millennials, 90s babies are the last of their kind because we grew up without a digital world. We grew up right on the cusp of that. So we know how to disconnect and we know the importance of it because we already lived it. But the kids that are coming up now, they're growing up in a digital first world and it is a little different. So I want to make sure that I am honoring that experience and making sure that I am going outside, touching some grass, and I am doing things in the present moment that do not have anything to do with technology and digitalness and all of that. And it's crazy because it's just so paradoxical because I'm saying this on a podcast. I'm recording this podcast and I got these lights set up and I got all of this stuff around me, but it's very important that I remember that yes, all of this has a time and place, but I need to make sure that I am doing what my body needs and disconnecting from it when I need to disconnect from it. Uh-oh, y'all. You already know what time it is. It is time for our fun closing segment. And today's closing segment is going to be a very quick recommendation of the day. So, this is where I recommend something that I really want y'all to take a look at or something that I have been loving. And my recommendation of the day, drum roll please, is My New Year Defined Me workbook. As you guys can see, we did talk about this at the top of the episode, but this workbook is $25. I'm gonna just tell you guys a little bit about it. It's $25 and it comes with supplemental videos on YouTube. It is a very approachable way to define what you want to get out of this new year. Something that is big for me is not going into the new year all gung ho and fast. I got to do this. Take a beat, move slowly, and the pages of this workbook really help you to do that. You can get a fresh start with focus. I built this so you can kick the year off with clarity. There are sections in here that you probably didn't think about, but would be helpful to you taking charge of your life this year in a way that you were like, huh, I didn't think about that at all, but it's something that I needed, right? The biggest thing for me that I want you to take away from this is do not let 2025 just happen to you. Don't sit in the passenger seat. Take an active role in your life because we only got one life to live. So I poured my heart and soul into this workbook and I really thought, okay, Tyra, what are the things that you need? What are the things that you want to put out into the world? What are the things that you want to reflect on? And how can I package them in a digestible way for each and every one of you? Like I said, making an investment in yourself is the first step for clarity and living a life that you want. And this is just a $25 investment. And you get a discount if you are listening within the first 48 hours. You can use code SALE10 for 10% off until January 8th at midnight Pacific time. So like I said, it's not about perfection. This is your guide to making progress in your life. It's not about being perfect. It's designed for you to revisit this book as often as you need and also add bits and pieces to it that maybe I didn't even include for you. It's about having your guidebook, having a handbook, having something tangible to say, okay, this is where I'm at and this is where I'm going. In those moments where you're feeling doubtful or weary or you just overwhelmed, whatever, pull out your new year define me workbook and take a beat, recenter yourself and figure out what your next step is. But I'm gonna leave it at that. Y'all need the workbook, okay? Get the workbook right now because I know you feel it in your spirit that you need the workbook. And there are tons of people who already have it. Thank you guys so much for pre ordering the workbook. I'm super excited for all the comments and things that we're getting on the YouTube videos for the supplemental videos. And I would love to see like your vision board or your wins exercise that we did. If you do them, take some pictures, post them on Instagram or wherever, and tag us at Affirmations of Black Girls because it is a community and it takes a village. Once again, I pour my heart and soul into this and I just give me your feedback. I hope you like it. I really hope you like it. Don't sit down in one day and do it. This is not that kind of book. This is the type of book to sit down every so often, maybe a couple of hours a day, and really do some deep work, some deep dive, and some soul searching. One thing that I did not mention is that I am starting to upload lo-fi music. Y'all know I love lo-fi. I have uploaded some lo-fi on the Affirmations for Black Girls YouTube channel. So when you are doing this deep work or you need a productivity session, you can pop this on because this is exactly what I do. It's some of my favorite lo-fi music and you can just let it play. Right now we just have a 1 hour lo-fi music bed on there, but listen to it, give me a like on it, leave me some comments, whatever, but I really want to start having those resources on there for you guys as well. So yeah, if you're not already subscribed to the YouTube channel, go ahead and subscribe because one, these video episodes are there. Once again, this is video and I'm really striving for all of our episodes to be video from here on out. So you can see my face and we can have a more direct conversation for each episode. I love all the emails that you guys send me, but there's just something about being able to comment under that YouTube video. So go ahead and subscribe, leave me a comment, chat it up. I love hearing from you guys. And thank you guys so much for listening. If you are not already subscribed to the podcast, make sure you subscribe to it. Make sure you rate it and leave us a review. I love all the reviews that you guys leave. And yeah, I'll see you guys again soon. I'll see you guys this later this week for a Pep Talk Wednesday episode. And I'll also see you next week. Every Monday, we have full length episodes that go live. And every other Wednesday or twice a month, we have Pep Talk Wednesdays, little midweek pick me ups that we are doing. So thank you guys so much for listening. This is Affirmations for Black Girls.